Hey, what is up, internet? Um, yep, I'm back with another video. We are going to solve another two problems today. Um, if you're watching it for the first time, I'm a front-end engineer working with Uber right now. I have worked with a couple of more companies in past, but I'm still really bad with DSL Go. I'm recording this series um, by with the hope that I get better solving this problem and I share this journey with the internet. So yeah, hey there. Let's start with some problem. So basically, the series I got it from some curated options from the lead code, and yeah, I'm just using that as a reference. I don't have any other questions list or anything of sort. So this question is high five. Given a list of the score of a different student, name items where items of I is equal to um, D of I and score of I. ID of I and score of I represent one score from a student with the ID I. Calculate each student's top 5 average. Okay, each student's top 5 average. Fine. Return the answer as an array of pair of result, where result of J, ID of J is top 5 average of J. Represent the student ID of J, where the top 5 average sort result and their top 5 average. नहीं sorry, I'm just confused. Where result of J यहाँ तक समझ आया, ID of J, top 5 average represent the student with this and their top 5 average. Sort the result by ID J in increasing order. Okay. um, a student's top 5 average is calculated by taking sum of that. So basically, if I understand correctly, they are saying ki hey, I have this array of I result, right? Sorry, of items in which ID of I is the ID of a student and then score is the score of that student, and we have to take average of top 5 scores by that particular student and return those in increasing order of top 5 averages, uh, as a result. Okay, fine. So one way is to calculate all top 5 scores in one go, and then look for that. I think that does make sense. So to solve this problem, I think I would go ahead and create that array which will have top 5 averages of a student. In order to do that, I think the another aspect of this problem is to find the top 5 numbers for that particular student. One way we can solve that is by having some sort of a map, right? So let's say, oh, my typos. So let's say I have a map of top 5, top, or just top 5 marks, right? And then this is basically an object, and when then we can what we can do basically is uh, to have student ID sort of, let's say, um, student ID and then an array which is basically top 5 numbers, right? I think, yeah, we can do this, and then use this as a source and calculate everything else. That is one way. Other way could be keep on using numbers as they come as a top value, right? And keep track of the lowest number you have seen. So what I'm saying is, you have same sort of approach, just it will take lesser of a memory, which is like I have this stu student ID, right? Then what I would do is basically that I will have an average as soon as I have 5 items, but then I have to wait for 5 items to have the average. So yeah, initially what I was thinking is basically like, you have a number and then you treat it like an average, if that makes sense, like by dividing it, sum it up, divide by 5, but then make it 5 times minus that value. Okay, so I was thinking like, let's say I have a number x which is divided by 5, because right now I just have x. Then I see x plus y, and then z, so on and so forth, till we have, and we keep track of the least value we have, right? So when we get another value which is higher than this, what we do is like, um, since it is higher than this, but then we have to recalculate for the all existing value what is the least value now, which would make this far more complicated. So I'm not going to do that. Let's go with this simple approach. So yeah, um, so I have top 5 marks as object and I have items. So a simple, mm, yeah, a simple reduce should work. So items dot reduce, right? I have previous, current, and I would just um, do this, right? And then it will start with top 5 marks. In this, I would just go with ACC. Um, if this exists, right? Like if ACC of current thing, uh, ka 0, basically the ID, right? So if this ID exists in dictionary, uh, or an object, then what I would like to do is basically ACC dot uh, currents 0, right? And push it. But if I'm pushing it right away, it does not make a lot of sense, because um, the challenge I have right now with this approach is, I just have to make sure that these are the top 5 numbers. um, okay, I can't just blindly push. It is also interesting. Okay, so to solve that, I can actually keep the list sorted at any point of time and then just look for the first number. If it is less than, update it and then sort it again. ठीक है, ठीक है, that makes sense. So items are reduce, accumulator and current. This is very, this is not really readable and very confusing, so I'm trying to figure this out. That okay, let's do this, right? Like let's create the whole thing as if we just want to store everything, right? um, so so I'm storing current, right? In if the current exists. Okay, fine. Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking like, is there another way we can filter all those number based on the number of users, and then essentially get top 5 out of it? But I think that would make the same sense, like the complexity of the problem will remain the same, so there's no added benefit with that approach. Yeah, so in this one I'm trying to push if this exists, and if it does not, right, then I want to create an array at that key with this key. So else ACC of current of 0, create an array with that value, which is like y. Oh, my mistake, sorry. Okay, create an array with the value of um, current, right? CURR, and then return the value. So return ACC, the whole thing. Um, this would help me create. So first thing first, I think I need to have a variable called let's call it let current value, which is nothing but ACC of CURR of 0. Right now, if current value exists, or top 5 value, I should have named it. Yeah, top 5, top 5 numbers, right? Because, okay, so if top 5 exists, then top 5 dot push. Otherwise, because it is going to reference that, I believe, I'm not sure if we can do that in JavaScript, that hey, for this reference assign this value, which essentially is going to um, create a value. I think we can do that. I think that should be doable, because that's how JavaScript reference work, right? So this essentially will create an array, and it will contain everything which we don't want. So we also have to basically sort it when after we pushed the value. um, Also, we need to check if the value is greater than 5. If value is equal to 5, we have to make sure we are removing the smallest one and then sorting it again. So I think we need to do something very similar to this, wherein, like, top 5, oh god, top 5 number dot length is less than, or yeah, is less than basically 5, which is the number I'm looking for. So if, right, if this is the case, okay, sorry for that. Okay, if this is the case, if length is less than 5, right, like, or less than or equal to, in fact, like, no, when it is equal to, it is having that, the last value, which we don't need. Okay, so I want to move this here, so just push it right away. Otherwise, else, whenever you, instead of pushing, right, what I want to do is from top 5 numbers, basically it is an increasing order, so I'm just trying to replace yeah, only if top 5, right? So basically top 5 numbers of 0 number should be less than, god, okay, less than current value. If this is the case, right, um, in this case, just go ahead and push it, or just replace, right, with that index. So what I'm trying to do here is, like, if top 5 number exists for this user, basically if the array exists, find the length. If the length is less than 5, don't think about it, just push it, because that is the sorted array. That is the top 5 number at that point of time. Otherwise, just check if the number is less than, the number at the starting is less than the current one, then definitely replace it, and that's about it. And once you're done with this, what also you want to do is, like, top 5 numbers dot sort, where a comma b, if I'm not wrong, right. We also want to do arrow function, where I would do a minus b. This is because JavaScript is really bad at sorting. So this is for top 5 number sorting, and this should sort by reference, because for this location, and then We should have it. We should have it right. Um, okay, this looks good to me. On a higher level, I'll just go through again on this. I don't know how long we've been recording. Oh, it's been 15 minutes already, so this took really longer than I expected. And still, we are not halfway through because then we have to find average and then um, do the increasing order thing on that value as well. Okay, so yeah, and I also have to use this value and assign it to something. So const, I'm using this uh, as a value. So top 5 marks. I think what I can do basically is um, okay. So I'm using top 5 mark as a starting point here. Yeah, so I can actually replace this with an empty object to start with, right? And then have it all together here. I delete. So in that way, I get top 5 mark. Once I have this top 5 mark, I can actually iterate it through. Let me see if my if conditions are okay, brackets are balanced. Okay, this is balanced. This is if top 5 number. Where do you end? This starts ends here. This starts ends here. This starts ends here. Else is here. Okay, so this starts ends here. Okay, okay, accumulator. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, I think this looks good, and this should return us what we need in terms of top 5 marks. Once we have top 5 marks, we just have to go through for each student and um, get the average, right? In a separate um, in a separate, it should not be an object, it should be an array, right? Okay, in a separate array basically, right? Okay, fine. So I need to go and loop again. So for loop, I think what I'm going to use is object dot keys, and I'm going to pass here top 5 marks, right? And then going to do a map. So I have a key with me which I'm going to use to get that mapped object, which should be very easy considering all we have to do is like top 5 typos. This is what happens when you just wake up and start coding right away. Yeah, top 5 marks of kya tha, of k basically, right? Like of that, get the value. This will return us a value which we want to do map. When you want to do a map, because you want to no we want to do a map. So when we are mapping, you will return an array. No, I want to do a reduce, right? And then in this I will say ACC. Okay, another brackets ACC, and then comma CUR current value. Just give me sum of everything. So that will be ACC plus CURR divided by 5. That is the idea. And what if they don't have 5 number? Let's just assume they have it for all the cases, right? Okay, so top 5 of k dot reduce of this and the 5 is one key, basically one value, and the other value. So basically I can rename const top 5 average, right, is this, and we know student id, so just return k comma top 5 avg, right? So this will return as a map. In this map we would have those values. Then we want to sort it. Wow, typos. Sort. This would be again a comma b, and in this what we want to do is basically that a of 1, right, like the first value, which should be top 5 average, is greater than b of 1. So basically top 5 value of the comparing value. So if it is true, then that should be good. And yeah, I think we have our answer. Only thing is now is to store it or just return it. Yeah, this looks good to me. It took me around 20 minutes to solve it, which is a lot. And still I don't know whether this will work. I will just go through another way, another like loop to figure out if I missed out something. So current active top 5 0, current 0. Current is basically um, that, but I'm not sure how am I assigning the keys, right? Like this is the key, where how am I accessing the number? So this is the 0. I should be having CRR of 1 as well, right? So what I'm pushing is, yeah, stupid me. Okay, so what I'm pushing is current dot reduce items dot reduce current. I should not be just pushing current, but instead current of the current itself will have a nested array. So instead of pushing the whole nested array, I should be pushing current of 1, the marks, right? Okay, and if this is the case, I need to update it in a lot of places, right? Like, yeah, here. So I'm trying to compare top 5 number of 0 with the current of 1. If that is greater, just assign that number to that. Top 5 number of 0, okay, current of 1, this looks good. Okay, else I'm just placing that, but not this, but here. So essentially I had to replace everywhere, which is kind of scary. Okay, yeah, this looks much better now. Top 5 marks of A, return const top 5 average. I'm trying to figure out the average for this key. Dot reduce accumulator this by 5. Awesome. Key comma top 5 average, and then sorting it based on this. Let's see what is up. Okay, so my output is empty. That is simply said. So this is empty because top 5 of marks would have never had any items in it. That is my assumption, and that has happened because so top 5 number exists, right? Like I'm checking if top 5 numbers uh, does have ACC of current of 0, which is empty, right? Yeah, if this exists ever, then go to top 5 numbers. Okay, then go to type 5 numbers. Otherwise, so in first loop it would not have it, so it should actually go to here. And I believe since we were trying to do the reference thing, it's not working out the way we expected it to. So just for the sake of confirmation, I can console log acc here, console.log acc, and let's run this code and see it failing again. Okay, so as you can see, acc is always empty. That reason being, we need to sort of assign that value at that place acc of current, and we are thinking that we are doing it here, but it's not working the way we expected it to. So I think what we need to do is basically have this copy paste it. So I'm saying, like, acc of this, just if you don't have create one, and then assign this value to it, so that for the next, so at least that gives us guarantee that at least it will have one value, right? At least it has one value, but then it failed for top 5 valued numbers dot length. Okay, that failed because I'm looking at the wrong thing probably. Let's see, top 5 value number of is not defined. Okay, where was I testing then? I think when I'm pushing, I'm testing it before. Yeah, here. So what is the top 5 number now is undefined. Okay, how does the input look like anyway? um, okay, so it is looking at this, and for 0 it's undefined. That is not how it should be. It should have some value, and then reference top 5 value number is not defined. Okay, okay, so the other problem is this, right? Like, it's not number but numbers. Run, let's see. Yeah, oh wow, this is ugly. Output expected, your your input study out. Okay, okay, this is my output, this is expected output. So as you can see, we are pretty close, um, except one value, which is 89. I don't know why, um, and the value should be 88. Okay, not bad. So I think this is creating an increasing order, so that is a plus. That looks good. Yeah, man, this looks good. We are good here. For, but what is going on here? I don't know. And why everything is 100? Maybe, um, I don't know this. Like, this looks good, 1 and 2. And then we have smaller values. ACC should have been always been increasing. I don't know why. Maybe it's another set of input, right? Like two inputs. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This looks good. This is what we need. In this particular case, it should be 89. It should be 88. I'm getting 89. I just need to figure out why. So this is what top 5 value looks for me. For 2, right? Like, let's do the quick math here. So this is 7 plus 77 plus 93 plus 97 97 plus 100. So this is 4 4 3. Okay, so I got what is 88.6, and I think, um, but basically it should not be again there, but I doubt that it could have to do with mat.flow. Let's try this. I'm not sure if this solves the problem, but let's give it a try. Okay, so that was the cause of this problem. I'm still not sure why that happened though. I need to figure that out. Thanks for this. I think, yeah, I think we should just go ahead and submit, um, and see what happens. Okay, this worked, but this is very slow. Probably we need to figure out what is the better way to solve this. Okay, let's look for the redundancy, right? This is really bad. 5%. I think the major reason is like the amount of looping we are working on, and then the number of time we are referencing values. So I think that can be avoided using something like const, and then to have the value like for current, I can say, current value, but this is basically a student ID, right, Nick? So student ID. Okay, and then take this out, paste it everywhere else, so we are not referencing that value, and the code is itself more readable. Okay, the other thing I can think of is, नहीं नहीं एक मिनट, दिस इज नॉट स्टूडेंट आईडी, दिस इज बेसिकली student mark, right? Not id is at 0. Okay, sorry, my bad. Student mark, student mark, student mark. And also I can do mat.min and stuff, but I don't think so that would help me much. Top 5 number of 0 basically, in this case. Okay, I'm just referring it twice, so that should not be a problem. This is, yeah, I think that's about it, like the things I can think of improving. um, I have to do this for loop. I have to go through a map, so I have to create a hash, and within the hash I also have to sort. So basically this sorting is happening on each insertion, right? um, so do I really want to do it? So when I'm pushing I need to do it, when I'm assigning I need to do it. So apparently in both of the cases, right, like either it is if or else, I have to do it. But then again, I don't need to do it when I'm not doing anything. So what I would do is basically stake it and keep it in on those two cases, right? Like, and let's see. Okay, this is the same. This works. Does it impact the UI? No, still really horrible one. Um, Fine. So I think the significant change would only come after we remove any sort of a looping uh, from this. I don't know how and where to remove it from. Okay. Mm. So what I'm looking at is, like, give me that hash. On that hash, going to I'm going to sort it. Let me read the problem again. I think in increasing order, top 5 average using integer division. Student top 5 will calculate by sum of their top 5 score divided by this. Okay. Atom dot length is 2,000, 10,000 and all that. So sorting within that is also not helping much. This one is items, so reduce. Okay, do I really need to sort it first? So if I'm going through that and I'm pushing everything in, right? Like, don't um, discriminate. Once you pushed, then you sort only once, and then yeah, I think um, that is one approach which worth a shot. So I will just take this and copy paste it somewhere. Okay, not you, thank you. Okay, so I will just paste it here for the time being. Let's jump back. So what I'm saying is key, don't do all of this, right? Like checking and all that. Just if number exists, push it, else create one, right? Don't sort it and stuff. So what I would have left with is basically a top 5 marks with all the numbers sorted based on the user thing, and then when I'm mapping here, I have keys. When I'm trying to figure out the top 5k thing, right? In this I can actually go ahead and say, hey, why don't we just sort those values. A minus B, right, on increasing order. So once we are sorted, um, also we want to return the value by slicing it. So basically, um, dot slice start and end index. So start is 0, start should be 0, end should be 5. I believe 5 is not included, so if I'm not wrong. So 0 1 2 3 4, yeah, end should be 5. This is okay. 0 1 2 3 4 index, and then reduce on top of it. And okay, so I'm doing sorting on that, reducing, slicing. This should just work if I have not made any blunder anywhere else. Let's give it a try. I'm too lazy to think it through. This is not good. So this is failing on else, which is basically this. Seems like some bracket situation is wrong. Okay, just come up and help me. Okay, missing argument bracket list. Okay, so bracket situation, what is up? Top 5 mark reduce to bracket, arrow function starts here, one bracket is open, top 5 mark push. Acha, I don't need this, right? Like this, because no, I do, but then I need another bracket to open it up here, which was missing. So this opens close, close open bracket, close this should be good, syntax should be good now. Fine, so we are at the wrong answer right now, and that is sort of sad because I didn't expect it to get the wrong answer. Where is the mistake? I don't know. So apparently on this time, this should be much higher value, and just for me it is 79, and I think that is where the problem is. Um, to solve this, I think the first thing I would need is basically a console log top 5 marks. Okay, so this is what top 5 marks look like, but it is not sorted because we haven't done that. And this is again how many numbers. Okay, when I'm slicing, the problem is I'm not like, so if you see, right, like everything else has 5 numbers, but this one has 6. And the way I'm slicing, basically I have to have instead of increasing, I need to have a decreasing order. So when I have this, what would happen is like higher number should be here and the smaller number should be here. When we are slicing on the smaller number. Yeah. So see, we got some progress here. Like we were at the 5 percentile or something. I don't remember, but that was really bad, and still is not good. But yeah, we are somewhere. Okay, so we need to um, improve this further, and that can be done by removing this whole reduce. That means we should not be needing any object um, to keep the keep track of the value, to keep the track of the value. And if we don't want to keep track of the values, the question is how do we make sure that we have that particular. Okay, I don't know how to solve it any further. How do we track those values without keeping track in a hash? Okay, one way I can think of is like for one student, just go and collect top 5 numbers from an array, get the count, and that's about it. The other way, but I don't think so that would reduce the cost, because then we are looping it through by n number of unique users in array, and essentially that is what this reduce is doing anyway, right? Like just trying to segregate everything in one pass instead of that many. So that would not be a more optimum way to solve this problem. And then once we have those members, we are anyway have to sort and slice and stuff to get the top values. So I don't think there's a. Okay, I believe. Okay, but this is for sorted values, right? Like, though, no. So I do think we can avoid the last sorting as well. Um, hmm. Okay, I think, yeah, that is the best I can do, which is not really good considering last time I did um, a really good one. But let me think. Like, I will just think for another 2 minutes or so. If you are already left, thanks. If you are still here, go and do something better. Um, but yeah, thanks for being here for so far. What I will spend next 2-3 minutes is to figure out if there's a way I can make this better. Otherwise, I will just jump into discussion section. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. You must be hearing some interesting background noise. Welcome to India. Top five numbers. Top five numbers. Okay, let's think from a different perspective. I have these values. Um, what if I sort these values from high to low based on the marks, right? And just then take the top five value I see because it is already sorted. Yeah, this makes sense. So okay, this makes sense. So what I would do is, like, because this one is working, just go and copy paste it here. Yeah. So what I'm proposing now is, instead of doing all of that, what if we can just do this? Um, we have items, right? So just sort. Let's sort those items in this way. Like, items dot sort a comma b, right? And then this should be in increasing order. So basically, I'm saying b of 1 should be higher than a of 1. So basically, all I'm trying to say, hey, give me rearrange this in a way that we have the longest value, um, highest value or highest marks first, right? And then what I want to do is, like, for each user, I want to keep track of if I have five numbers, some, right, like five top numbers, because now for everyone, the top five number you would see is the highest number they've got, because the whole array is sorted in that way. So now what I want to do is, for one user, let's get those five numbers. As soon as you have it, uh, let's um, get the average and get done with that particular user, and then look for another user to figure that out, right? um, so I need to track, um, sort of, like, which users have those numbers and which you don't. So one simplest way again is a dictionary, where a key is basically that, um, anyway you have to just go through it. The user ID is same, don't do anything, no sorting, nothing overhead on that front. Just loop through if it is different, and just keep only top 5, so that would reduce cost on sorting on entire longer array, and don't be bothered with adding it. So I think everything else would remain more or less same, apart from yeah, I think everything else would be more or less same. Oh, I don't know why I removed all of the code I did. So instead of, like, very shamefully, just go back. नहीं यार, let's okay, no, let's write it. Let's not be lazy, right? Items dot sort a comma b, and we want to make sure, like, b's number 1 is higher than a's number 1. So basically, sorted on decreasing order of numbers, right? So once we have this decreasing order of numbers in place, now loop. So to loop it, I will just go through in each items, and I will store it in some variable. I will call that um, marks, right? And what I would do is reduce it again, because that is my favorite thing to do. Okay, so let's say, okay, and this was the const marks terms for reduce accumulator current value, and then have an empty object to start with, right? So in this case, what I would do is basically, um, because I know that um, this value exists, and then this, so what I want to do is like const a variable, let's say x, right? I can give up. So I'm really tired now, 45 minutes in the video, my brain is fried, so I'm just trying to figure this one out, otherwise I'll just close it anyway. uh, Fine. So what I'm trying to say is, like, let's say, hey, if the value exists, right, like the marks exist, so student mark is equal to a top 5 mark, right? Basically, 5 mark. M has to be capital. Okay. Okay. I think I'm really tired. Okay. Okay. Top 5 mark should be what? It should be we have accumulator and current value, so it should be current value of, and we have accumulator, so accumulator of current value, and we are storing it by the id, so that goes by 0. So this should exist, right? So if top 5 mark exist and top 5 mark is less than, dot length is less than 5, all you want to do is push value to the array, or in this case c of 0, we want to push the value, right? And what we want to push, we want to push marks, so basically that is c of 1, right? And that is it. If top 5 mark does not exist, in that case all we want to do is to have that value here in this way. So this is the key, student key, which should be equal to an array, and within the array we have c of 1. So we keep on pushing values, and until, like, we don't have that 5, and this should just give us what we are looking for. Okay, so this would reduce and give us this. Then what we want to do is basically student marks, we have to loop it through, so object dot keys in entire thing, and then for each key we want to loop through and find the sum. Since we don't need to sort it and stuff, because we did one sorting on top level and we are just pushing 5 values, this becomes really easy, because now we just have const value, which should be equal to, or average, which should be equal to what do you say this, key, no, key is okay, so s2 student marks at k, and just Again, reduce it with the a comma c. You're going to hate me for this, but I think reduce is a really nifty thing to solve this problem with. But yeah, so I'm just saying this a dot c, right, divide by 5, and then just return the whole array in which we have key, comma, average, and then sort it again based on a comma b, yeah, based on, I mean, b of 1 minus, sorry, a of 1 minus b of 1, I mean, so basically sorted based on the numbers. I'm too tired to go through and understand, so I will just get some help from this. But yeah, but even then that will be even harder. C of 0, C of 1, C of 0, C of push C of 1. 1 is the ones, this is the number. Create an array if top of mask does not exist. Create the first one and then keep on pushing until the length is less than 5. If the length is equal to 5, we are good. We just need to avoid those values. I think we are good. Okay, so I have an error here. It says a of c cannot read property 1 of undefined. Okay, so this is a bummer. Okay, so I'm not sure why this happened, because I have an empty object. I'm saying a is essentially an empty object. Why does it say of undefined? I don't know. Did I did something different in other problems? Let's look at the last one, right? Items, ACC, whatever, and then ACC current of 0. Nahi yaar, I did the same thing. I don't know why this one is throwing me error. Okay, let's debug this. I think this should be worth it. We are close to an hour. Let's see if we can close this before an hour. Okay, so it says cannot read property 1 of undefined. So according to accumulator and current value, this 1 is undefined. I'm just trying to confirm that by console log. I just hope this console log works. Console logic, right? Why a would be undefined? That is very interesting. Okay, so there's some problem with return. So I'm not returning ACC, accumulated value, which is a problem. So in reduce, you have to return it. So that was my mistake, number 1. Am I doing the same mistake here? No, I don't think so. Let's give it another try. Wrong answer. Okay, we have some progress. Nice. Okay, let's see what the wrong answer is. Why is not cool again. Okay, this worked with the console log, which is very funny. If I remove console log, it does not work. What? Okay, we have this in this order, which is good. Fine, this should be fine, right? And then we have this, and the output is undefined. So again, there's no mistake. Number 1, don't returning items, return things, man, return things. Still wrong answer. That is okay. Okay, this is really heartbreaking because I'm still stuck at this one. Fine. So what is going on is 1 is not capturing the highest values it can have, which is 91 here, 92, 60. Okay, and this is not seems to be sorted. I'm also sorting it here based on their property. I think there's some problem with the sorting. I think that is not working as I expected. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, that is not cool, because it should be like, the highest value first here with this change, and this is just random. If p of and I can see that, higher values are here and all that, but within this, I'm just looking at the value for this number, and this should just sort it. I don't know why or where am I wrong with this approach. Or maybe I need to assign the sorted value. Let me check that as well. Hmm. Acha, so basically a minus b works not greater than, okay, where is everything? God, okay, just sorry for this. Okay, I think I sort of understood one thing. Is basically I'm doing less than, I just need to do minus, but I think those essentially have the same output, but they don't, right? Like, see, so today I learned that greater than minus um, so I need to understand sorting. Okay, still wrong answer, that is okay, but um, that is because of this. We need to do math.floor thing here, and that should solve the problem. Floor, right? Still not sure why we need to do math.floor, because they should just work. They should have just worked. Okay, this works now. Let's take this out. Do we have more console logs? We have one more here. We don't need this one now. Okay, run this code. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, we got stuck at 1 1. Okay, it's already been an hour almost. I was not expecting to solve this. Like, I was not expecting to get stuck right now. So the output is this, expected is this, because we are. Okay, so one thing for sure is that output is right but not sorted. Right. So I think we wanted to have increasing order, but we have decreasing. So very new thing to do. I think if I switch this, we should be good. So, oh god. Okay, even for this we got it wrong. No, wait. No, just don't do it for the sake of it. Let's try to understand what is going on, right? Okay. So let's see. Expected is 1, 2, 3. That is, this is on increasing order. Um, my output is increasing order. What they wanted. Top 5 calculated, some of them were using integer division. What they said they wanted an increasing order. The result of IOC. Sort the result by IDJ in increasing order. Expected is this. Wait, let me see what did I do in last time. Yeah, I just did greater than instead of minus. Hey man, this is getting crazy. Okay, I'm not even sure like why, but let's submit this. Boom, nice. But one learning from this is that um, the problem I had was around this, right? Like minus and subtract. So we should have a video separately for that, and still I need to learn why. How does that matter? Um, yeah, man, this has been fun. We got to solve it, but I still have no clue why this worked, and we are at pretty good shape. Thanks for listening. I think this 1 hour would have been worth it. We got it from 5% or so to 100% almost. Thanks for your time. Have a good one. Bye bye.